take a moment to ask all of our elected officials that have been able to join us today to stand up and enjoy a round of applause. Thank you for coming and sharing your afternoon with us. Now I'm just going to hand Hogue on the bagpipe solo. Anne's been with the pipe and drum band for a while, and we're always blessed to have her come and play with us. At this point, I'd like to invite the honor guard to come forward and present the colors. Please stand.
Honor guard, attention. Port arms. Over, arch. Ace. Honor guard, uniform personnel, present arms.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Councilman Member Jack Walsh, who will be singing our national anthem. We'll be joined singing the first and last verse. Please join in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched for so gallantly streaming, and the rockets, the monsters singing in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the shore did hold us, be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us our nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Honor guard, uniform personnel, order, arms. Colors, post.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Chaplain Kathy Muth to come and give us our blessing, please.
I'm a little too short. Would you please bow with me in prayer? Heavenly Father, today we gather together to remember all of the first responders and citizens that were tragically killed on September 11th, 2001 in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We ask for your continued blessing and also their love for all of the people that lost family members. And now we ask for your protection on our first responders as they always stand ready to take the call in our community and beyond. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen.
As we gather today to remember the nearly 3,000 lives that were lost 23 years ago on September 11th, 2001. We commemorate the courage, the sacrifice, and the unity shown on that tragic day. We pay homage to those individuals who have lost their lives as a result of the illness they incurred from their time spending in their time working in recovery efforts. We stand here not only to commemorate the lives lost, but also the spirit of resilience and determination that rose out of the ashes and the rubble of the Twin Towers. For many of us in the fire service, 9/11 held very special significance. I remember being a very young lieutenant, standing in the kitchen with two other shifts at a busy firehouse, watching a national tragedy unfold, and not being able to completely comprehend the catastrophic loss our nation experienced. We watched in horror as the Twin Towers collapsed, claiming the lives of 343 firefighters and 72 law enforcement personnel. They exemplified what it meant to be a first responder, putting others' needs ahead of their own, rushing into danger. Their bravery is forever etched in our hearts, and it is a reminder of the unity and the oath that we all share. At this time, I'd like to invite Federal Way Police Chief Andy Wong to come up and share a few thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow police officers, brave firefighters, I am honored to be with all of you this afternoon. We are here to remember the lives claimed by the brutal attacks of September 11, 2001. On this solemn day, we gather to honor the brave souls who made the ultimate sacrifice on September 11. 23 years ago, our protectors answered the call and never returned. We extend our deepest gratitude to the police officers, firefighters, citizens, and military personnel who stood in the midst of unspeakable devastation to protect our freedom that day and the related years that followed. We cannot do justice this hour to the sacrifices of FDNY, the New York Police Department, the Port Authority Police, and those who fought to save lives at the Pentagon and on Flight 93 in Pennsylvania. The magnitude of the sacrifice made by our fallen heroes and citizens extend beyond words. Nearly 3,000 people were killed on that day, the largest loss of life resulting from a foreign attack on American soil, and the greatest single loss of rescue personnel in American history. The courage displayed by our police officers is a beacon of strength. They rushed into chaos and danger, not hesitating for a moment, risking their lives to protect and serve others. 72 police officers died that day. Their selflessness embodies a true spirit of service and country. The valor of our firefighters remain etched in our hearts. Running towards burning buildings, they knew that they might not survive. They battled infernos and the flames with unmatched determination to save lives of people they never knew trapped in the Twin Towers. 343 brave firefighters perished that day. That morning, firefighters who ascended to the Twin Towers on that fateful day embodied unparalleled courage. With every step upward, they knew the peril, yet they pressed on, driven not by fear, but by duty to defend the firefighters beside them and the desperate cries above. After 23 years of reflection, their bravery was not in absence of fear, but in the steadfast resolve to rise against it, to save lives no matter the cost. They became symbols of sacrifice, climbing to the heart of danger when others fled, holding fast to the purpose even in the face of unimaginable destruction. On that day, the world witnessed acts of bravery that will be forever etched in our hearts and minds. Their sacrifice reminds us of the resilience and the heroism that defined our nation. Let us not forget the ordinary citizens who became extraordinary heroes in the face of adversity. Their acts of kindness, compassion, and solidarity showcase the unbreakable spirit that binds us as a country. Our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, stationed both at home and abroad, answer the call to defend our freedom. They stood firm, resolute in their commitment to safeguard the principles upon which our nation was built. There is no higher calling than to do one's duty in the service of others, and we thank our military for their sacrifice through time as a testament to the price of liberty. From deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan, where military services fought and died for democracy, to communities where in America, where police officers and firefighters perished in the line of duty, today honors their ultimate sacrifice. As we remember the events of that fateful day, let us carry forward the legacy of those who gave everything. May their courage inspire us to stand united, resilient, and grateful for the freedoms that we hold dear. In honoring their memory, let us renew our commitment to upholding justice, protecting the vulnerable, and serving our communities with unwavering integrity. We pledge to cherish the values that define us as a nation, recognizing the sacrifices made on September 11th and beyond continue to shape the course of our history. Today, remember their service and the importance of honoring our firefighters, law enforcement officers, and armed service members. They symbolize order, peace, and prosperity. Every day, we have the opportunity to conduct ourselves as individuals and as a nation to live up to the sacrifice of those heroes we lost. It is our duty and obligation never to forget them and their sacrifices. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, A.J. Frank. He is a former volunteer firefighter with the Federal Way Fire Department from 1982 to 1984, and is a retired Seattle fire engineer and canine handler. A.J. spent an expensive amount of time at Ground Zero with his dogs doing search and rescue. It was very interesting that some of the comments from A.J.'s coworkers, he's a crazy, hard-working dude who always has a great attitude. We should totally clone him. You are a terrific role model for all of us. In 35 years, the men never slowed down. I also just learned this afternoon that he can crank it up a mountain like nobody's business and leave everybody else behind. So please welcome A.J. Frank to share a few comments with his rescue dog, Kersey.
Hello, this is Kersey. She didn't go to 9/11. She went to OSO, and she did good there. She found 2 bodies. I've been a canine handler for pretty much most of my career for Seattle Fire. And one of the cool things I got to do, one of the good things I've got to do is help rescue and recover bodies. Olin was the dog that I had for 9/11. In fact, we were down in Tacoma for 9/11. We were putting on a class. We had 30 of the United States' best search dogs with us. Class was going on. Woke up early that morning, Came back in after walking my dog. One of the towers was hit, and it was like, oh, this must just be a movie. This can't be real. And next thing we knew, oh yes, this is real. Everybody's team wanted their dogs back. Like I said, we had 30 of the dogs from all over the United States. We had dogs from New York. We had dogs from Florida. All task force dogs. So the big thing was FEMA said, hey, let's get the dogs from New York, the East Coast dogs, back home. Washington Task Force 1 was spooled up and getting ready to go. So I grabbed Olin. We headed down to SeaTac Airport, hung out for a bit. They decided to cancel us, leaving that day on the 11th. We went back, finished training. The next week, Olin and I and the rest of my team hopped on a military plane, because remember, all the airlines were frozen. So we got to fly first class in a military plane. If you've ever flown first class in a military plane, you mean there's the pilots, there's cargo, and then there's humans in these big seats that don't fit us. It's cold on one side of the plane, it's hot on the other side of the plane. You get to see the cables. It wasn't enjoyable. We got to New Jersey actually. Landed in New Jersey, had to get all of our equipment off the airplane onto semi-trucks. And then the deal was we went to the Javits Convention Center, find a place to sleep, got onto our cots, got our beds squared away, and we were lucky. We were in a dark room or dark part of the Javits Convention Center. And I don't know if you've ever slept in a room with 300 people before, but it's noisy. And so sometimes being a dog handler has saved me in some of those events where they put dogs, because remember they're dogs and they don't want to be with people, in our own room. So sometimes we're now, only 6 dogs in a room, 6 people, instead of general population with 300. Anyways, on the pile, my dog Olin did great. His first time searching, I was worried that he wouldn't be able to do his thing. But he went down the ramp into the pile, into the pit, and was able to find remnants of humans. And so that's what we did. We spent our time on the pile. As a dog handler, I spent my time either with my dog on the pile searching or just helping out the fellow firefighters, either New York, Washington Task Force 1, or the other task force, locating bodies. I think Olin and I did a good job. We've traveled all over the place, and we spent our time helping recover bodies so that we can find our loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. I'd like to invite Council Member Jack Walsh to sing America the Beautiful for us. Again, please join in and sing with Councilmember Jack Walsh.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for ample ways of rain, for purple mountains, majesties, above the fruited plain. God shed his grace on me, and crowned my good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for children, whose burning passions dress, a thoroughfare of freedom he across the wilderness. America, America, may God
As we watch the events of 9/11 unfold, and we watch the impact and experience the impact on our organizations, on our communities, on our families, we saw not just tragedy, but unity and strength emerge. As a nation, we set aside our differences, we supported one another. People from all walks of life came together to help, to heal, and to rebuild. In a dark time, we witnessed the best of humanity. My challenge to all of us today, as we move forward, let's honor that sacrifice. Let's commit ourselves to serving with the same courage, the same dedication as the members of FDNY and our law enforcement partners. I'd like to acknowledge the families, the victims, and the survivors of 9/11. Our deepest sympathies and our unwavering support. Their strength continues to inspire, and your loved ones will never be forgotten. As we move forward and we carry the spirit of 9/11 with us, not just today, but every day, remember the sacrifices made, honor the lives lost, and work together to build a future worthy of their memories. I'd like to thank again all the elected officials that came to join us. I'd like to thank all the on-duty and off-duty personnel that are here. A little special recognition to all our retirees that have come to join us. Thank you very much. It's great to see so many of you. Please feel free to wander around our memorial out front. Please feel free to look at some of AJ's pictures in the back. Before we conclude today's service, I'd like to ask all of you to join me in a moment of silence for everyone that perished on 9/11. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and everybody be safe. God bless America.